Hey, what's up, guys? Remastered Flex here. I am back, and I am now finally getting back to what I love. There's been a lot of things holding me back from doing videos like these, and it's been a lot of things that's been holding me back, and now I'm going back to something I haven't done in a few months. Really since May, a video regarding the WWE. Hopefully I could keep this train going so that you guys can see this video and then see the others and then so forth. We are just 1 week away from Summerslam, and one of the big matches that comes to mind that I would like to address, I've heard a lot of talk over this, is the Universal title match, fatal four-way between Brock Lesnar, Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman, and Roman Reigns. Now, the caveat in this is if Brock Lesnar loses, he'll leave the WWE forever. In reality, you know, he's trying to go back to UFC, but apparently a lot of people are saying that he can't go back and fight just yet, because he's still on his suspension for what happened last year and all that. And it's like, everybody wants to see him drop the belt, but it's like, most likely he won't. But at the same token, you never know, because WWE can throw a curveball at you. And I would just like to dedicate this video as who my favorite is for him to drop the belt to at SummerSlam. There's been a lot of mixed feelings, you know. There are a lot of Braun Strowman fans, and I do like Braun Strowman. I think Braun Strowman has had a huge step up. Like him or hate him, I will say you gotta give Roman Reigns credit, because, you know, one of the reasons Braun Strowman really stepped up in the game, one of the reasons why his in-ring ability got so good was because of his rivalry he's been having with Roman Reigns. That's what really put him on the map. That's what really put him on the top. Because when he very first got drafted to Raw last summer, you know, a lot of people didn't really care for him because he was just having a bunch of squash matches. He's beating a bunch of jobbers and things like that. But once he really got into the mix and started rivaling with Roman Reigns, that really helped him reach up to the top. That's really what sort of boosted his career. And even before then, his short rivalry he had with Sami Zayn was pretty good when they had that match at I forget the pay-per-view, Roadblock last year, Roadblock the end, back in December. That was a pretty good match. And, you know, the only reason he got eliminated from the Survivor Series matchup was because James Ellsworth was holding his leg under the ring, which I found pretty funny. But at the same token, as popular as he is as much people as that support him, as much people that like Braun Strowman, that is not my favorite to win this match to win the title. I'm going for Samoa Joe. I truly believe that Samoa Joe deserves it. Like, I think Samoa Joe deserves to win the Universal title at SummerSlam. And here's my reason why. Like, first of all, you're talking about a guy who wasn't even supposed to be in the main event scene this fast. I mean, the only reason he even got this chance was because of the injury that Braun Strowman had leading up to Extreme Rules, which took him out of that pay-per-view because they were actually supposed to have that ambulance match then, him and Roman Reigns. He had beaten Roman Reigns at Payback. They were supposed to continue the feud into Extreme Rules, and then he was supposed to face Brock Lesnar at the Great Balls of Fire. But to tell you the truth, I kind of think that Braun Strowman's injury was kind of a savior, because had he not got injured, I think the build-up between Braun and Brock would have been a lot different than the build-up between Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar. There was no doubt that their actual match was kind of a disappointment, only because of how short it was. But Samoa Joe took it to Brock Lesnar. He really did. And throughout the whole build-up, that was one of the best build-ups I ever seen. This was really the step-up I seen in Samoa Joe. The fact that at Extreme Rules, he won that Fatal 5-Way match to become the number one contender. Once he became the number one contender, he really stepped up his game. And at that point, I really started to become a fan of Samoa Joe because, the build-up he had with Brock Lesnar, he basically dominated the build-up. He attacked Brock Lesnar numerous times, sneak attacks. He nearly made Brock Lesnar pass out to the Coquina clutch on a Raw, and his face was turning purple or whatever. When they first met up, he headbutted him in the head, did a cheap shot to attack him, and that alone, when they were pulling him back, he did a sneak super kick on him. He did like a kick on him while they pulled him back, which I found pretty interesting. Like, Samoa Joe did not fear the beast at all. And when they had that match at Great Balls of Fire, the reason why I was disappointed was because the way it ended. It only took 1 F5 for Brock Lesnar to win. And he basically dominated the whole match. He attacked Lesnar from behind and, put him through a table, which I didn't even expect that to happen. That was just unexpected for him to do that, for him to just put Brock Lesnar through the table. The match hadn't even started yet, and he just basically dominated from there. And the only thing Lesnar did is the typical thing that Lesnar seems to be doing in his last couple of matches, really ever since last year, even summer 2015, just suplex after suplex after suplex. That's really the only thing he did. But other than that, Samoa Joe dominated the match. I think that Samoa Joe kind of got robbed. There was a lot of talks of it just being a one-off thing. This was only supposed to be Samoa Joe versus Brock, but it was supposed to be a one-off match. And then Samoa Joe was going to go right back down and wasn't going to get another shot at the title. But I was like, no, Samoa Joe deserves to get another shot at the title because he proved throughout the build-up with his aggression, with the promos, he proved that he has what it takes to become a Universal Champion. He proved that he has that vibe, that energy to be a main eventer. He proved it. So it's like, I didn't want for Samoa Joe to be lost in the shuffle just because Braun Strowman was coming back. I think personally, in my opinion, that when Braun Strowman got injured, it was kind of a good thing. For me personally, I believe that because had he never got injured, no one would have ever seen this side of Samoa Joe, at least in the WWE. I mean, we know he was a monster in TNA and all those other promotions, but as far as WWE, since he came here, no one would have ever seen how serious and aggressive he could really get had he never got that opportunity to shine, because Braun Strowman was getting that push. But with Braun Strowman getting hurt, I think that kind of helped, because that was the only way that Samoa Joe was going to step out of the shadows and prove that he has what it takes to step with the beast. And he really did. He dominated the match. He basically, you know, throughout their whole build-up, he dominated the build-up. You know, he even put Paul Heyman in a Coquito clutch. You know, he was really serious. And, you know, I didn't, you know, a lot of people, the first talk was it was just going to be a one-off match. He wasn't going to get another title shot. There have been so many rumors. I mean, Finn Balor does deserve a title shot for the Universal title because he never got his rematch. I don't know when they're going to do that, honestly, but he does deserve one. But as of right now, there have been several rumors. One, you know, it's supposed to be Roman Reigns versus Brock, and Braun Strowman versus Brock, Summerslam. I mean, they kept changing it. I'm like, why not just make it a fatal four-way? And when they had that match with Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe to determine who would face Brock Lesnar, I knew right then and there. I was like, they need to either get counted out or disqualified or something. It's no way that one of them is going to win. It's going to be a single match. No, this is going to turn into a fatal four-way. And what happened? It turned straight to a fatal four-way. They found the way to add Braun in the mix because Braun was already supposed to get a title shot at the Great Balls of Fire, but he didn't because by the time he came back, you know, they had already had the match set, so he just faced Roman again, and you know, Roman, of course, they were going to give him one. Obviously, I personally don't hate Roman Reigns, but you know, that's a topic for another day. It's just not really my pick to win the title at all. I definitely believe, you know, there are a lot of people. I have two friends I'm battling with right now who are supporting Braun Strowman, but I am a huge Samoa Joe fan. I think Samoa Joe, this should really be his chance to shine. Now, you know, you have the thought of, could you be giving him something too early? Well, you know, there are certain wrestlers who they're not ready to win the title at this rate. But I believe if Samoa Joe is Universal Champion, he would be a bad ass. Like, this man would be amazing. Like, no question about it. He would be amazing. His promos, you know, his mic skills, it really shows you how dominant he would be as a Universal Champion. And not only that, but I think that would be a good way for Finn Balor to get his rematch. Not by facing Brock Lesnar, because that would just be a squash match. I would not want to see him go against Brock Lesnar and get his rematch, because we all know Brock Lesnar, for Finn Balor, small, the type of guy he is, he basically dominated. But no, if he faced Samoa Joe, that would actually be good, because that could bring back, you know, their NXT days when they had their matches in NXT, because Samoa Joe was actually the one that ended the long reign of Finn Balor when he was NXT champion to become the NXT champion, you know, before he eventually lost the title to Shinsuke Nakamura. But I think that would be the best way for Finn Balor to get his rematch, is by facing Samoa Joe for the title. That would be a good way. I mean, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't put Balor over Samoa Joe, but I think that would be the best way for Finn Balor personally to get his rematch that he actually deserves. So, you know, like I said, though, I may or may not do a full SummerSlam prediction on the matches. I mean, I may or may not. It depends. If I don't, I'll probably just do a review of what I actually thought of the matches. I mean, because some of the build-ups have been it's been kind of strange, you know? Like, for example, I'm just going to talk about one, because this video is about me supporting Samoa Joe to win the Universal title. But one build-up that I don't really like that much is the Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt build-up. Honestly, I think, you know, I don't know what has been going on with Bray Wyatt, but it's like the last few feuds he's been having, they just haven't really like the build-ups to the matches, they just don't really seem like they're that interesting. Like, the only reason why I kind of give Randy Orton and Bray a pass, and not for their match at WrestleMania, because no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the build-up leading up to the match, was because of the way that Randy Orton did it. I like how he joined the Wyatts, turned heel to join the Wyatts, and basically was manipulating the mind of Bray Wyatt the whole time, only for him to turn on him in the episode of SmackDown, burn his house down. It's, Sister Abigail, and Bray Wyatt's going in nuts because he's like, oh my God, like, you're messing up my stuff. And I just like the way that they did that. Now, the matches themselves obviously were not that good. I can't really, Bray has had his good matches, but those were definitely not it. And his match with Seth Rollins on Raw was actually way better than his match with him on Great Balls of Fire. That's the sad part. When he faced him on Raw, because he faced him on Raw before Extreme Rules, and he faced him on Raw after Great Balls of Fire, both of those matches were actually really good. But the Great Balls of Fire match they had was, it wasn't the best. It was kind of average for me, to be honest. But like I said, not to go off topic here, because I may or may not do a SummerSlam prediction video. I don't know. I haven't really done those in a while. But as it pertains to who I believe, who my favorite to win the Universal title, it's definitely Samoa Joe. I think Samoa Joe deserves it. I think Samoa Joe, this is his time to shine. He burst in the scene in January. He made his mark attacking Seth Rollins the night after the Royal Rumble, which was insane because I remember I dropped my mouth open when I saw it, and the crowd was just going crazy. He did not even have a match at WrestleMania, nor did he even anticipate on interfering in the Triple H Seth Rollins match. So it was like, since then, once he won that Fatal 5-Way match at Extreme Rules, and once he went on to build his thing up with Brock Lesnar at the Great Balls of Fire, I think that's basically when he really started to prove how much potential he really has. And to really break it down, honestly, I'm not saying that he doesn't have any fans, but I'm pretty sure no one is rooting for Brock Lesnar to retain. Even though, sadly, most likely he will, but there are times when WWE can throw a curveball, he might not. I don't think anybody, except maybe a few diehard Brock Lesnar fans, wants to see him retain the title. Because for one, he's a part-timer, and for two, that's just a waste of television time. No one wants to see, some people might defend him and say that, well, because, he doesn't, by him coming on Raw this time, this much and that much, that it really makes it more prestigious, or it's better for him to do that, because rather than him coming all the time, because it actually makes the pay-per-view mean something. But it's like, no one wants to see a part-timer as champion, especially now. We've seen it way too much, and it's really been taking the spotlight from the younger guys. We went from Goldberg, which I don't even know why he even won the title to begin with, and now Brock Lesnar is the Universal Champion. It's just like, there's only been 3 Universal Champions: Kevin Owens, Goldberg, and now Brock Lesnar. Please do not give it to any other part-timer. Like, please. Honestly, at the time that Jericho was on television on Raw all the time he was last year, I would definitely have said that if anybody they could have given it to, it should have been Chris Jericho. I heard that was actually the original plan, but of course Vince changed it he would have been a perfect pick because even though he's a part-timer, he was on Raw nearly every week last year. And even the beginning of this year, he was on Raw all the time. It almost felt like he was a full-time wrestler because of how much he was on Raw. He, you know, had more time on TV than any other part-timer in recent years. That actually means Brock, Goldberg, and so forth to go on. So if anybody part-time last year should have been it. But right now, definitely Samoa Joe, I believe, should win it. I really don't want Brock to retain. I don't think not many people want to retain. At this point, Brock is really becoming boring. I really don't know why he slid away from his technical wrestler skills. I mean, I get that he's like 40 now, I believe, because him and Cena are about the same age. But it's like, what happened? Like, between 2012 to now, he produced better matches when he first returned to now. Now, it's like suplexes is all he does, but when he first came back, that was not the only move he did. He actually did more stuff. Now it's like his style is just dedicated to just doing a bunch of suplexes. And at this point, it's just really playing out. I miss the Brock that, like, you can use your UFC stuff. That's understood. You can use it, but I miss the Brock that was actually a technical wrestler because that Brock would do a lot more moves in the ring. That Brock was more of a powerhouse. That Brock was more of a monster. This Brock that we're seeing now with the constant suplexes and the fact that the fans still support it somehow. Again, there are people that support us. That's understandable. It's just like. It's just, I don't know. It's just really playing out. It's boring to me. I just can't deal with it anymore. It's really playing out. So it's like, my pick is Samoa Joe. I think Samoa Joe should win the Universal title. There are some people who are Braun Strowman fans, but if you like Braun Strowman, you like Braun Strowman. But I personally believe that Samoa Joe should win because I think out of all three of them, he's the most deserving as of right now. Just because of how his performance was with Lesnar in the actual match and even the build-up and just how much he proved that he really has that step to be that guy. So I definitely believe that Samoa Joe should win the Universal title at SummerSlam. So, that's all I have to say for now. So that is it for me. I don't know if I'm going to do a SummerSlam prediction video. I may or may not. SummerSlam is next Sunday, so if I do it, it will probably have to be close to Sunday. I don't know. But this is it for this video. This is the first wrestling video I've done in a long time, so I hope you guys enjoy it. I will include my intro in here because, well, I'll still include it. There's some things I don't really want to look at with the intro, but I guess I'll still include it. Yeah, so signing off is Ray Massive Flex. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys, look at this video, check it out and everything. It's been the first time in a very long time I've done wrestling videos. I've been keeping up with wrestling. I just have not been doing the videos of it, but I've definitely been keeping up with my love. So, without a question, I hope you guys enjoyed this video.